ASMR Pokemon playthrough of Crystal Clear. This is a fan remake of the Pokemon Crystal game, and what's unique about it is that you can progress in whatever order or kind of, I guess, area you would like first, including choosing your starting region. So you can choose to start in the Johto region or the Kanto region, and the game scales with you. So if you defeat, or if you decide to challenge the 8th gym first, they will have low-level Pokemon, and if you decide to challenge the first gym last, they will have higher-level Pokemon. So I will choose to start in Johto, and you can also choose to start in whichever city you would like. So it tells you kind of the difficulty there at the top for which starting city you would like to begin in. I think I will. I don't want to start in Cherry Grove or New Bark because that's too typical. My question is, if you start in Cianwood, how do you get to Olivine? I think I'm going to start in Olivine and see what I can do that way. You know what? No, we're going to be in Cianwood. We're going to be a coastal trainer, and we are going to set out to see the rest of the world. So let's go ahead and try that. Alright. You can also customize your character quite a bit, more than what you can in regular games, as you'll see. So we have several different models. As you can see, you can be Gary Yellow from the manga. Silver, you can be a Team Rocket Grunt, which might be interesting. But for me, I am going to choose Yellow. I like the yellow arc in the manga, so that's what we will do. So we will go over to skin. We're going to make the skin just a bit darker. I feel like, oh, I guess it changes the hair color anyway. Okay, let's go there. Alright. And this is the overall color palette. It looks kind of wild. I'm just going to go with something basic. I feel like that contrast is good. I'm not going to mess with any of that. So we are done. And we will be in our per usual for most of my gameplay videos. Now you can change your bag type. So we have several bags to choose from. I'm going to go with something a little bit neutral there, and then you can choose the overall color of your backpack. So I'm going to go, I like the purple. Okay. You can change the color of the Poké gear, which is great. And this is the coolest portion of this game. You can choose a starter, and you have many options. You have the Kanto starters, the Johto starters, and then other Pokemon like Pikachu, Eevee. And it tells you when you choose them if they are difficult or not. So we have Seal, which is interesting. We have Growlithe, Houndour, Ponyta, Voltorb. It would be hilarious to start with a Voltorb. We have Porygon, which I will go ahead and give you a I forgot about that. That's pretty cool. What else is there? Okay, yes, so this is the hard choices. You can choose Smeargle, Ditto, Unknown, Magikarp. That would be very difficult. Shuckle. So those are the options. We are going to choose our friend Porygon, the mascot of the ASMR&R channel. At least the Pokemon videos that I do. Alright, so we are going to choose Porygon for our first Pokemon. And I must say, I am very excited. The starter ball, that is a ball that I have not seen before. I can confirm that. At least we were successful in our first. We're going to make it night, that way it is a bit more chill. So, an early evening playthrough for us. Today is Wednesday, so we will keep it. And I should also mention that, like it says here, all 250 Pokemon are available to catch. And the Pokédex is reworked in order to provide you more information and relevant clues of where you should look. And this is cool, it gives you the option for saving for soft resets on your starter Pokemon, which is cool. But we'll go ahead and save that. I'm not going to concern myself with getting a shiny Porygon, but it would be cool. We are going to, for sure, nickname Porygon. What should we nickname it? Perhaps we're going to go, I'm just going to play simple, and we're going to go Birdo. Birdo has begun its adventure. Oh, I almost forgot that I had chosen to start in Cianwood. I am an island kid. So one thing about this game is that it adds new NPCs and some new areas in order to fit all 251 Pokemon in them. To the next owner of this house. Okay, it's talking about the Whirl Islands. Like I said, there are... Whoa, okay. For some reason, the Whirl Islands are connected to the back of your house. I have no clue what to expect here. Okay, so at least it's not a high-level Pokemon. So as you can see, level 3, it scales quite nicely. So we're just going to hit it with a nice tri-attack. I do have a shader installed in order to smooth out the graphics a bit. Just makes some of the Pokemon look nice on larger screens. So I'm going to go ahead and wait on that area and start exploring my home, Cianwood City. Or Cianwood Island. Sure, let's take a photo. So, like I said, oh, it's asking me for the Game Boy printer. I don't think that's going to work. But like I said, all Pokemon are available to be caught. So there are no hindrances to Pokemon like trading evolutions and things like that. So there are some trade back NPCs in this game that will trade back Pokemon to you in order for you to get the evolutions that require trades, which is great. Alright, so before I challenge the gym, I'm going to try to... Okay, no, I don't need any of that. I'm going to try to level up just a bit and perhaps catch a second Pokemon. I can't remember if there is an NPC that I was going to say okay, so she will give me Fly when I have 3 gym badges. But anyway, I was going to say, I thought there was an NPC that gave you something special here. Oh, okay, we have, I think this guy gives you a Shuckle. No, it's okay. I don't need to soft reset. I wonder if this is still a Shuckle. So, let's see if that is still a Shuckle. It is a Shuckle. Alright. Now, I unfortunately am not going to use this Shuckle. And not because I don't like Shuckle, but because there are situations early in the game where you might get your original Pokemon knocked out and be stuck with Shuckle, who has incredibly high defense, and then you can almost be just soft locked for a while because the Pokemon can't kill you. And it just takes forever. So I'm going to take it out of my party. So I am going to go back to that Whirl Island area in the basement of my house, funny enough, and try to capture a second Pokemon, or at least train in order to level up. Before I try my hand. Ooh, a Krabby. Alright, let's see if we can capture the Krabby. I didn't even look to see if I had Pokeballs, so hopefully I do. At least it already knows Bubble. That'll be nice. Okay, let's see if we have any Pokeballs. Okay, we do have 5 Pokeballs. That's great. So in this playthrough, it's just going to be a very chill gameplay session anytime I play this game with you. And I'm just going to kind of catch whatever Pokemon interest me and not really target any specific Pokemon per se. Alright, we're just going to go. What do we think? I'm just going to slightly change it to Grapple. There we go. So, Krabby will come with us, and we will train our Porygon just a bit. And see what Chuck has to offer. So, let's go ahead and hit that Tri-Attack. I always loved the Tri-Attack animation. It's just cool how it shows the 3 separate elements in the attack. I wonder what other Pokemon are here. All I have seen are the Krabby and Zubat so far. I'm gonna try my hand at Tackle. I'm actually curious to see, since this game is guaranteed to be unhindered by normal storyline gating, I'm curious to see how they got around the fact that you are on an island currently, since obviously I don't have the HM Cianwood, so that's great. So we actually don't have to fight Chuck here, so he's going to have some fighting type Pokemon, which might be an issue for my Porygon. So what I might actually do is take the ferry to Olivine and see what other Pokemon I could catch before I attempt to come back and come back and challenge my hometown gym leader, Chuck. Alright, a cool animation there, for sure. And we have arrived at Olivine. One thing, an additional thing about this game is that there are a lot of new NPCs, so you never know what they are going to give you or things like that. So it's always a good idea to see what they say, because with the addition of all of the other Pokemon acquisitions, it's sometimes relevant to speak to some of the NPCs. Right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is go check out the wild Pokemon outside of Olivine City. So I am going to check out this area and battle some trainers to level up. But I will be fighting Chuck first, because I want to make a name for myself in Cianwood. So as you can see, all of the trainers, for the most part, have been scaled down, which is cool. This is what I need. I need some good XP. I have no idea what to expect level-wise from Chuck, but my Porygon needs to be prepared. So far, so good. Great, 2 one-hit KOs. That's great. Alright, what do we have? Krabby. I was going to utilize my Krabby, but I don't want to go Krabby on Krabby. We're just going to keep spamming Tri-Attack. Alright, not a one-hit KO, unfortunately. But it looks like my special defense is holding up nicely. It's kind of weird when you start with a Pokemon like Porygon, because it's so, different from how the games usually begin. There's usually, faster leveling with the starter Pokemon. They learn moves at, a pretty standard pace, but someone like Porygon is a lot different than that. Let's go ahead and see if we can get, well, we'll go up here and see if we can get another Pokemon. Oh, I thought she would battle me. Okay, I guess I just had to speak to her first. Let's see what we have. Meowth, alright. Let's see if we can get another level for Birdo, and then I want to make sure that I start leveling my Krabby in order to ensure that I have enough firepower to defeat Chuck. But maybe we can find another great Pokemon here. Wow, okay, Eradicate. What level is this? Okay, 16. So that's one thing that I noticed when I played this game originally, grass. So that is kind of disappointing, but at least we know now that that patch of grass is a bit too high level for us. But I guess if we managed to catch one of those Pokemon, then we would have a nice advantage. So maybe that's a strategy. We'll see. Let's see if these people have anything to give us here. Okay, so you can learn strength here. That's good. Just some basic stuff. She's telling me about the person with the shuckle. Yes, I already have the shuckle, don't worry. Okay, so we will skip that patch of grass and we will go this way and see if it's the same. Maybe when they programmed the game, they just forgot to scale all of the patches, and that might be the case. Hopefully the patches up ahead are a bit more scaled. One other issue with starting with Porygon is your main attack, Tri-Attack, only has 10 power, or I guess you can only use it 10 times, which is a bit of a bummer, but hopefully I get another good move that it can be utilized soon. Let's go ahead and switch my Krabby to the front and take on this trainer here. Wouldn't it be so great if she has a fire or rock or ground type? But I doubt it. No. Excellent. Just a Pichu, which might be the worst matchup, since all I have is Bubble. And of course, the level 3 Pikachu has Thunder Shock. That's excellent. Sorry, Krabby, it was not your fight to win. Birdo will pick up the slack here. Alright, there it is. At least we have leveled up 3 times, which hopefully gives us a good edge on the gym leader. Okay, I'm going to rush down here and re-heal my Krabby because I do want to get a bit of experience. I would like to at least get it to level 5 before we go to the gym. But I guess we will see what we can do. I'd love to find an area that has some ground type Pokemon. Starting out of order in the game does make it a bit more difficult to remember kind of where you're supposed to go, or kind of where things are. I get a little bit more confused on where I am or where different locations are, because you don't play through it in sequential order. But with games this old and games that you've played so many times, it's nice to have a completely different experience at times. Alright, I'm going to switch back to Porygon here and finish off a Slowpoke. Good thing about Slowpoke is it usually gives pretty good experience. So maybe I can get like half a level or something like that for Krabby. So, if you hear that in the background, then I do apologize. Wow, okay, that's a great critical hit. Okay, Grapple goes to level 4. Perfect. And Birdo is halfway home to level 9. Excellent. Alright, let's go in here. I forgot. I know this is like the Moo Moo farm, but I don't remember what I need to do. Oh, that's right, you need to give it berries. Well, I have no berries, so that won't be happening today. Was that a shiny Miltank? It was green, or maybe it's just because it's sick. There's one mint berry, but I don't know if that counts for that particular quest. Okay, hopefully this route is scaled. We will see. If not, we might have bit off more than we can chew in this area. Perfect, not scaled. So, I guess, yeah, alright. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to capture this Meowth. This game is going to be very difficult, I can see. So, best. Oh, wow. I cannot believe I held on there. Best case scenario, I get a paralysis here. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and throw a Pokeball and just cross my fingers and hope that I get lucky. I at least have 2 throws. Wow, okay. That's amazing. Alright, so we just got a level 16 Meowth. Whiskers will be its name. We're just going to go simple here. We're going to do a little custom here. Yeah, we're just gonna leave it like that. Alright. Man, so that's the issue, is that some of these areas are not properly scaled, so the trainers are, but the grass, I guess that's alright, because as long as the trainers are scaled, then, you know, some of the grass is just more dangerous than others, which is kind of what a lot of Pokemon fans have been asking for, is have, you know, a truly open world where you can have some areas where you just should avoid early game. It's funny to see a level 3 Mr. Mime. Do you think I can beat it with just Bubble? I don't know what attacks it will have at level 3, so maybe I can just nerf it down and it's just going to spam barrier, which I'm hitting it with a special attack, so the defense increase will not affect me too much. So I think I can scrape by and get a good amount of XP for my Krabby. This is actually best case scenario. So I'm going to speed this up just a bit and just go through this. Some of these battles, since we are going to do a lot of Pokemon battling, some of these I will speed up just a bit. Yeah, 87 XP will be great for us whiskers here and throw a potion on Porygon. I don't really want to use this Meowth, but I'm going to keep it with me for now. The problem is that it's going to siphon some of that XP here from this win, which does suck, but that's alright. Perfect. Okay, let's see if we can get a knockout here. Well, for not being very effective, it did a decent amount of damage. So after I get through this battle, I'm going to take the ferry back to Cianwood and challenge our old friend Chuck and see how difficult he's going to be. That will kind of give me a gauge of what I need to do. Alright, perfect. That was at level 7, so we actually got decent XP there. Schoolboy Chad had some decent Pokemon there. Alright, so we're going to run back and heal up and then take a brief ferry boat ride to Cianwood and see if we can get ourselves our first badge. We will see. I'm not going to take Meowth into the gym with me. I'm going to try to defeat it with just my trained Pokemon, but if the game does continue to be difficult, then that just might be how it needs to be played, so we will see. I'll take it with me again when I'm out just adventuring because I don't want to run into those high-level grass areas and not have any Pokemon with me that can compete. Alright, let's take the ferry here. Wow. Okay, so this ferry is actually really expensive. So we're gonna go back to, so we can go to Cerulean City from here and Cinnabar Island. That's actually really cool. Okay, but this time it cost me 1,500, which is extremely unfortunate. I didn't know that it was gonna cost me so much. But I guess that means that we really need to win this gym battle. Let's see what we can do. So, I think we are going to lead with Krabby and just see. I guess we have to defeat all of these trainers first anyway, so let's see how difficult they're going to be. But we can probably pick up a level or two just in these early battles. Alright, how bad is this going to be? 7. Okay, this is going to be pretty difficult, I can tell. So let's see if we can get a lucky knockout with the Gestar Grapple. Alright, unfortunate. But maybe we can outlast it or pick up a critical hit. Okay, so my second hit was awful. But it did miss, so maybe that will get me a catch-up here. So I'm going to speed this just a bit, because this might be kind of a grind battle. This is going to be very close. Hopefully it misses again. Oh wow, it did miss right as I was saying that. This is going to be extremely close. Alright, its speed fell. Maybe first. Let's see. Wow, what luck. I lowered its speed with my final hit and got 136 experience. That's huge for us. Perfect. Okay, but I think it's going to pull me into the second battle. Yeah. Pull me into the second battle immediately. But that's alright. We will just switch out to Birdo and get to work. I love how they all have Tyrogue because I think originally perhaps they have like Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. So since it's scaled down, they just have Tyrogue, which is kind of funny. I haven't seen it use any fighting type attacks yet, so maybe I'll be alright with my Porygon, but since it's technically a baby Pokemon, these trainers are actually at a huge disadvantage because its stats just aren't very high. So the scaling of the game actually favored me there. Agility. I'm not worried about agility right now. Alright, how much money did we get? 784. That's my biggest concern at this point, is affording the ferry boat rides out of here. So what would happen, I wonder, if you run out of money to take the ferry boat, but you're on Cianwood? I wonder if it's always free when you're on Cianwood, or if it was just that first time that I took it. I bet it's always free since it would kind of lock you on the island. I bet it's always free leaving the island, if I had to guess. Let your fists do the talking. Alright, let's do it then. So far so good. Let's see what he has. Black Belt Knob. Interesting name. Okay, let's see if we can pick up another win with just our bubble gravel. Wow, that hits so weak. Alright, I don't like my chances there. With Machop using low kick and getting the stab bonus, it's going to do too much damage compared to my bubble. So we will try attack and share the XP. Perfect. Maybe I can get my Porygon to level 10 before I battle Chuck. That would be great. That's hitting pretty hard, and frozen. You don't see frozen very often. But today is the day. Perfect. Okay. So I think we will go ahead and challenge this last gym leader and see if we can squeak out another victory before healing one last time to battle Chuck. Alright, we got Mankey here. Level 3 though, so we should be able to get a solid hit. I have got to get a different move for Krabby. Bubble is just not going to work long term. It is very rough in the terms of how much damage it's doing for me. But slowly but surely, I am wearing down these opponents. Hopefully, I can get the knockout. It looks like I should. Oh, so close. So I will leave it in. Then I'll switch out for the final two. That will get my Grapple to level 8. And then maybe get my Birdo closer to level 10. Alright, I should have easy knockouts here against the level 3s. There we go. Alright. That will get grappled to 8. Perfect. And maybe we can level up on this final Mankey. We're going to leave Birdo in. So, one thing you can notice is that Krabby is leveling up far quicker than my Porygon. It's almost caught up, but that's alright. My Porygon is doing a lot of good work for me. Alright, so we should have the final heal up before attempting to challenge our first gym leader. So I know Chuck's original ace Pokemon is a Poliwrath, so I'm curious to see if he utilizes a Poliwhirl or Poliwag, since neither Pokemon are fighting type at all. Let's see. I love how Chuck is like one of the only trainers to have a specific like animation like that where he kicks the stone. It's pretty unique. Alright, let's see what we are in for. 2 Pokemon. Okay, Mankey. Level 7. I feel good about this. I think we can take the win here. I'm gonna actually leer and then switch. Wow. the double leer. I actually don't remember if Tri Attack is a special or physical attack. That leer might actually be useless for me. Let's see how much damage. Oh wow, yeah, that's not gonna be good, but I think we secured a 1-hit knockout for our Porygon. Let's see. Alright, so super effective, but not too bad for us. I'm glad I got to go first there. Alright, 1 Pokemon left. So that wasn't too bad, but we definitely took a decent amount of damage. Wow. So, he actually is using a Poliwag, which is hilarious, because we now won't have to worry about any fighting type moves for our super effectiveness. That was incredibly easy. I'm really surprised that it didn't at least give him something else. I love how he's surprised that he lost with a ace Poliwag. So Chuck definitely suffered massively from the scaling, which is hilarious. Alright, what do we have? Dynamic Punch. Okay. I don't know if that will benefit our Krabby. Okay, good luck to you, Chuck. Maybe get yourself another fighting type Pokemon. Alright, so the Pokemon League is calling us. I remember this from my previous time that I tried this game. So what does this? So it says they'll call us to update every time that I complete a badge. once the selection of any. Okay, so it says my selection at any Pokemart has increased. And on Route 10, a Professor Oak aide has a flashy gift for me. So that must be Flash. Okay, so it's just giving me some trainer tips. Okay, well, that's a good spot for me to stop today. Kind of an interesting first episode because one, we learned that some of the grass is going to be very dangerous. But we also learned that the scaling might make some of the gym leaders easier depending on the order in which we fight them. We have a level 8 Krabby and a level 10 Porygon. Next episode we will continue our journey in Olivine City. Perhaps we will take on the gym leader there and continue our adventure. Thanks so much for watching and supporting me as I do some of these gameplay videos while I recover from my recent medical issues, and I just thank you so much for all the kind words and support. So please enjoy your day or night, and thank you for watching.